Instructor Karvesh had trained cadets from 63 different species over his 4-decade career at the Intergalactic Naval Academy. He'd seen the brilliant Luminari who could calculate trajectories in their heads, the resilient Kryn who could endure weeks without rest, and the methodical Talnari whose attention to detail was legendary. But he'd never encountered anything quite like the human cadets. When the first group of 12 humans arrived at the academy, Karvesh reviewed their files with growing concern. Their homeworld was a nightmare of extreme conditions, variable gravity, unpredictable weather, and an atmosphere that could shift from calm to catastrophic within hours. They'd evolved as persistent predators on a planet that seemed actively hostile to complex life. "They won't last a month," predicted Instructor Yilmora, mandibles clicking with certainty. "The precision requirements alone will eliminate them. Humans are chaos adapted, not order adapted." The Galactic Naval Academy wasn't designed to be easy. It demanded absolute precision in navigation, weapons targeting, engineering protocols, and tactical coordination. A single decimal point error could mean the difference between a successful docking maneuver and a catastrophic collision. Species that thrived here were those who'd evolved in stable, predictable environments where precision was rewarded. Humans came from the opposite kind of world. The first test was basic navigation plotting. Cadets had to calculate jump coordinates through a simulated asteroid field with a margin of error less than 0.01%. The Luminari cadets excelled as expected, their neural architecture perfectly suited for mathematical precision. The human cadets, Lieutenant Marcus Webb and his team, worked quietly at their terminals. When the results posted, Karvesh's anterior eye stalks retracted in surprise. Webb's team had achieved 0.003% margin of error, 3 times more precise than required, and better than the Luminari average. "Luck," Gilmore insisted. "Wait until the pressure scenarios." The pressure scenarios were designed to test cadet performance under extreme stress. Multiple system failures, enemy contacts, civilian evacuations, and command structure breakdowns, all happening simultaneously. Most cadets experienced significant performance degradation. Some species froze entirely when their orderly protocols encountered chaos. The humans improved. Cadet Jessica Park coordinated a 12-ship evacuation fleet through a debris field while managing 3 simultaneous equipment failures. Her precision actually increased as variables multiplied. Cadet Ahmed Hassan executed a weapons targeting sequence that required 17 separate calculations in under 4 seconds, and hit every target within millimeter precision. "How?" Karvesh finally asked Webb directly. "Your species evolved in chaos. How do you achieve such precision under pressure?" Webb considered the question carefully. "Instructor, I think that's exactly why we can do it. We didn't evolve with precision, we had to create it. Every human achievement, from ancient navigation to modern spacecraft, required us to impose order on a chaotic universe." He pulled up historical data on his terminal. "Our ancestors crossed oceans using stars that moved, on waters that changed, in weather they couldn't predict. They built structures that had to withstand earthquakes, hurricanes, and floods. We sent missions to our moon with computers less powerful than your data pad, calculating trajectories through a constantly shifting gravitational environment." Park joined the conversation. "On Earth, precision isn't natural, it's survival. We can't trust our environment to stay stable, so we learn to be precise despite the chaos, not because we live without it. When you add pressure, we don't break. We focus harder." Karvesh began reviewing human psychological profiles with new understanding. Their brains release performance-enhancing chemicals in response to stress. Their training methodologies deliberately introduce chaos to improve precision. They practiced emergency procedures more than routine operations because on Earth, emergencies were routine. The final examination was the Academy's ultimate test, a 72-hour simulation combining every possible crisis scenario. Command systems would fail, environmental controls would malfunction, enemy forces would attack, and civilian casualties would mount. Cadets had to maintain operational precision while their entire world fell apart around them. It was designed to break even the best candidates. The human cadets didn't just pass, they set a new academy record. They maintained equipment precision with intolerances throughout the entire scenario. Their weapons accuracy never dropped below 98%. Their coordination protocols operated flawlessly even when communication systems were compromised. When Karvesh analyzed their performance data, he discovered something remarkable. The humans had developed redundant systems for their redundant systems. They created backup protocols that assumed everything would fail simultaneously. They trained for scenarios where precision was the only thing keeping them alive.
They don't just adapt to chaos,
Karvesh told the Academy board.
They weaponize it.
They turn environmental instability into tactical advantage.
And most importantly, they've learned that precision isn't about having perfect conditions. It's about maintaining standards when everything is trying to destroy those standards.
The board approved the expansion of human cadet enrollment. Other species could learn from the humans, they decided. Not just their techniques, but their fundamental approach, that true precision isn't achieved in calm conditions, but forged in the crucible of chaos. Lieutenant Webb and his team graduated with highest honors. As they received their commissions, Karvesh realized something profound about humanity. The galaxy had species that were naturally precise, naturally resilient, naturally brilliant. But humans were naturally stubborn enough to be precise when the universe demanded chaos, to create order when nature provided none, and to maintain standards that would make their ancestors proud across millions of years of evolution. That stubbornness, Karvesh suspected, would take them very far indeed.